Margaret Morris, and myself, Linda Goodyear, headed to the south coast of Newfoundland and Labrador to visit the communities only accessible by ferry boats. We just have a minor problem. The Mercedes has a flat tire. We have a friend who's been kind enough to loan us a truck. We finally make it to the head of Route 360. Yes, Margaret, 360 South, Coast to Base Passage. Looking forward to it. Lots of little communities. What do you say? Come join us?
Let's do that bay experience.
Lots of places to stop along the side of the road.
A lovely spot.
And ice cream!
And ice cream.
The first landmark of significance to us is the Conagra Peninsula. The largest settlement in the area is Harbour Breton. We found this place in the book, but had to actually come here to find out that they serve breakfast. It's Sunny Cottage in Harbour Breton. And it is so old and neat, and they have so many artifacts in there. It's actually 110 years old. And we're going to meet the woman whose parents actually lived here. Fabulous place. The lovely Pansy Blackmore. Her parents lived in this house before it became public property. And these are her workers.
And we're here at Sunny Cottage now for breakfast. Found it purely by chance. No sign. We got directed to Ernie's place for breakfast. Ernie's was closed, didn't have a sign. Then the convenience store redirected us back here, and bingo.
Lo and behold, look at all. With homemade baked apple jam. The baked apple jam is exquisite. So you have to take a walk around Dead Man's Pond near Harbour Breton so that you can see all the ferries. You can hike out to the lighthouse, short hike. You can hike around Seal Cove, which is a fairly extensive boardwalk, and there's always lots of wooden artifacts to see. Okay, we were just at the Lighthouse Diner and had fresh halibut, mashed potatoes, coleslaw, all made at home. It was so delicious. Just getting ready to load the Marine Voyager. For our trip across southern Newfoundland. Woo! You can see there we're loading for McAllen. The Voyager docks first in McAllen, although it's a bit of a dull day. And Francois, as they say in Newfoundland. And the second place where we dock today is Francois. It's absolutely beautiful here, very spectacular, as it is a fjord, and many cruise ships stop in here. We brought the tent just in case, and sure enough, all of the accommodations in Francois were booked. We had to sleep in the tent. The next morning, the sun comes out, and Francois lights up like a Christmas tree. Here we have a panoramic view of the fjord. We had a little trouble with the tent. One of the spines broke. We fixed it on the ferry. A kindly gentleman helped us. Our next stop is Grey River, and I was wondering where the name came from, and of course the riverbed actually looks grey. We actually get stranded in Grey River, but this bay cruiser happens in, and some wonderful new friends offer us a ride further west to Burgeo. Leaving Grey River! We have a short stay in a small island off the coast named Ramia, and they do have a separate ferry service. It does take cars, so you will see cars on Ramia. But I just want to give you a little sense of all the beautiful views that we had from the harbor. Lots of wonderful little houses and sheds and buoys and salt box houses. There is a small museum on Ramia called the Ramia Museum. You can take a hike out to the lighthouse along an extensive boardwalk. Again, just beautiful. You can see lots of beautiful flowers, small, beautiful little exotic flowers, and some interesting birds for the bird watchers. Our next community is Burgeo. Burgeo is the only community we visited which wasn't isolated. You can actually reach it by road. The evening we arrived, there was only one room available, and it was at the Gillette's Motel. Great little hotel with great hosts. The very reason we have taken this journey is to witness the South Coast. As you can see from the dramatic coastline, it's unique to Newfoundland topography. Large rolling hills, caves, rocky shores, the odd sandy beach, some traffic, all incredibly beautiful and worth the excursion. The one thing you will see lots of are seagulls. And here the cooks are making codfish stew with codfish fresh out of the ocean. We arrived back at McCallum. This time it's sunny and incredibly beautiful. Lots of boardwalks, pretty little houses, again, lots of sheds, lots of fishing gear. I just want to say that it's certainly a photographic challenge for photographers to try to capture the beauty, as wonderful as it is. The photograph I worked on the most was this beautiful reflection and this cluster of buoys. And this is Barbara Dunsford. I think she runs a few things in this town.
And Mother Nature at her best.
And our last port of call is Gaultois, and it's another interesting little spot. We stayed at the Gaultois Inn, where everything comes up tartan, and you can keep these shells if you find them. This building, one of the oldest in Newfoundland, is part of the Newman Port heritage. You will find many beautiful churches in rural Newfoundland, including this one. One of the great things you can do if you make it to Gaultois is to take this hike. It begins in Gaultois and ends in a community that was resettled in the 1960s called Ferry. It's about 10 kilometers, 5 in and 5 out. The floral emblem of Newfoundland and Labrador. And here we've arrived in Ferry. I believe this little tea house the community is trying to restore. A big tradition in Newfoundland and Labrador is berry picking. I'm on the Ferry Trail in Gaultois picking blueberries because the cook at the hotel said she'd put them in my pancakes. How wonderful is that? This absolutely beautiful clear water at the end of our hike. I'm going to get in. Woohoo! Wow! It's divine! No, it's Gaultois! This is the manager and the cook at the Gaultois Inn. And here are the pancakes I've been promised. And this is another building to explore. As we spent the night in Gaultois, we get to see the sunset, and the next morning we're up early to catch the ferry back to Hermitage. Coast of Bays passage down along the south coast of Newfoundland was incredible. We did it in 8 days. Every little community. It was unbelievable. Trip of a lifetime, would you say, Margaret?
It was good. It was very, very good. Couldn't have gone better.
Couldn't have gone better. And this is the bus that'll take us back to St. John's.